Should I?
So, welcome to another edition of Inside the Challenge. Today, I have a bit of a different take on it. I have today with me Lisa Jasper, who is the Director of PR and Communications Marketing for Workshop APD out of New York with satellite offices in different areas of the US. Um, and so, while I don't have an architect on with me today, the person that's here, you, Lisa,
That's me.
she looks after all things associated with what it means to be able to get the messaging out to the right bodies, making sure that it is indicative of what the practice is looking to put out and the image that it's looking to put out for itself. So I'm going to turn it over to you. While it's not a traditional like inside the challenge, I know that a lot of practices struggle with how to market themselves.
Yes, that is very true. And I think, you and I were talking about this, Jonathan. I think a lot of the problem is that it's very hard to be everything. I think that architects and designers, and I've worked with architects and designers and designed products and brands my whole career. Architects and designers are architects and designers. They're not marketers or publicists or event planners.
Yep.
And it's very, very hard to be all of those things, even if you do have a knack for them, which, in my experience, those are often two very different kinds of brains. So I think that when you're starting out, maybe you don't have the money or the bandwidth to have external marketing or internal marketing or PR communications, or those are not necessarily the top priorities when you're just building a practice and, trying to like work with your first clients.
Right.
And then as you get larger and larger and busier, sometimes it's actually the challenge isn't so much financial as who on the inside actually manages those functions and how do you collaborate with marketing and PR. And it's a not an easy recipe. It's not an easy thing to figure out for any firm, I think.
So what did it look like for Workshop when because I know that they've been around for a while now, uh,
25 years.
right? So how long did they wait before they pulled the trigger on bringing you in?
So I have been with the firm for 6 years. So they were, a little over about 20 years in when they hired me.
Okay.
And my counterpart, David, had been with the firm for 6 years at that part as a sort of marketing manager. He has a background in graphic design and had always done a beautiful job of, communicating with the press, but also creating beautiful visual assets, sort of being the brand gatekeeper. Um, and they had had agency people. They'd had PR agencies helping them out over the years. And I actually met the founders, Andrew and Matt, who I work for now,
Yeah.
because I was with a design focused PR agency and they were looking to hire a new agency. I was part of that RFP process and actually did not get the job.
Until you
But
got
it
the
turned
job.
out I didn't get that job.
No,
But it
I'm saying until you got the job.
Correct. Well, it turned out that I didn't get the job because in going through the RFP process, what they learned was that the PR agency model wasn't really working for them, that they couldn't pay enough attention to their agency, they couldn't support them sufficiently, and they felt they needed someone on the inside. So when I, left my previous role, they found out and we realized that this was a great fit for all of us.
Right. And
And we've
so
had a lot to learn together, right? As I said
that's what I
before,
want
there's
to
a
ask.
lot. Yeah, you have to figure out how to make it all work.
So what did that look like? What did you come in and how did you try to help organize the practice to be able to put out the image of what they were looking to aspire to and or what they were currently achieving but not actually achieving
Yeah.
in the press or in general.
Yeah. Well, I think when you have when you don't have dedicated resources for things, you're reactive, you're not proactive, right? So we were lucky in that, we had developed some good relationships with press. Andrew and Matt are incredibly charismatic. David was doing a really good job. They'd had PR people that had helped them along the way. So they weren't an unknown quantity necessarily, but they were being reactive for the most part. And they weren't necessarily sort of pursuing a singular vision for what they wanted the brand to be in the moment and what they wanted the brand to be in 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. Andrew and Matt built this practice, intentionally did not give it their names. They called it Workshop APD very specifically because they wanted it to be a collaborative. They wanted it to live beyond them. And while that's a really beautiful thing, it's also a hard thing, right? Because the easiest thing in the world is to tie a practice to a human being and put everything on their shoulders and let them do all the interviews and let them be in all the pictures. And that's not what we are. So we've had to work really hard on strategy to figure out who it is that we are and what we want to say about it.
Okay. And so since you joined,
Yep.
you were 45 people is what you were telling me. And
Yes.
now you are how many?
We're about 100 now. And I have two roots here. I could take full credit for that, or I could say that there are a lot of things that go into that growth. Um, they also very smartly, about a year before they hired me, hired a director of business development, Jonah Kaplan, who is incredibly good at his job. He's a principal at the firm now.
Yep.
And so we're talking about a firm where at 45 people, they began to dedicate really significant resources to business development, to marketing, to sort of the non-practicing functions, support functions, operations functions that I think help take a business to the next level.
Right. I mean, what's funny about all of this is that, and I talk about this with so many people, is that if you're studying architecture, you're not actually studying business and you're not studying marketing and
All
you
the
can't
time.
wear all the hats. But in small practice, it's really hard to be able to hand off elements of what you do to someone else when you want to control the vision.
Yes.
Uh,
But
so
we've seen incremental growth because there are people to handle all of the sort of non-architecture stuff, right? Like when the leads come in, you don't have to drop your I mean, no one's drafting by hand anymore, but you're not dropping your pencil
yeah,
to pursue a lead. There are dedicated people who happen to be especially good at this to do it with all of the creativity and the passion and the interest and the skills and the lack of need to also get designs over to the client. And I think that at the end of the day, I say this all the time, and it's maybe not the most glamorous way to talk about my job, but everything I do is in the service of business development, right? Like
of course it is.
it's not necessarily just a money thing, right? It's
Yeah.
that like we have a big team, and not only do we want them to be busy, we want them to have better and better and better work all the time. And I think good marketing supports that too, that we're not just working on driving leads, we're talking about driving leads that excite us and energize us that we really want to pursue. And I think that's a shift that we've seen probably to me that is the most exciting over the past 6 years is that we are the leads we see are the things that we sometimes have to turn away are things that we would have died for 10, 12 years ago, that would have been A plus 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 to us.
Right. Well, and also working to celebrate correctly, celebrate the victories of the work that has been completed with the
Yes.
right publications, the right awards, knowing where they are, checking. I'm assuming that are you also looking after um, conferences and which of those conferences are the right ones to be able to both participate in to attend, but also to speak at? Is
Yes.
that a part of your role?
It is. So my role, so we divide up, I think I was telling you that my role and David's role, my counterpart, sort
Yeah.
of divide things into, we say words and pictures, which is such an unbelievable oversimplification because we're like two sides of a coin. We really try to do most things together and to try to divide them is silly. But we say David's pictures and I'm words. And so anything that isn't pictures or video or whatever falls to me or some sort of collaboration of the two of us. And
Right.
so words includes all public relations, which would be editorial work. It includes speaking engagements. It includes making sure that people are at the right conferences, that people are at the right dinners, at the right events, that we are entering for awards, that where our website conveys what we want it to convey. We work on our books. We have a monograph that we put out with Rizzoli in 2023, and we're already starting to think about our next book.
Right.
It includes we handle all of our social media internally. So it really is everything. And I think that is very important because we're trying to make sure that the picture is holistic in every single way, which is very representative of what our work is like, right? We say we work at every single scale. We think about space and structure and furniture and custom product and every door handle and every reveal. And I think we try to approach marketing in the same way with the same rigor.
Right. It's interesting. You have it's almost like you have someone who looks after interiors and architecture, right? In, in some capacity. So
Totally.
I find it really interesting, and I think it's helpful to learn about this as you are potentially watching this and determining what you should be doing with your practice. Hearing from Lisa hopefully provides you some insights as to what is out there and what is possible for yourself, and how you can potentially improve what you're doing for your own practice. Because workshop, as you've just heard, has grown from 45 to 100, and it's as a result of decisions they've made over the course of that time frame, um, to bring in specialists at what they do in the field. So,
Yeah, for sure. And, I think that the thing I think is the funniest that I hear all the time from people is they say, "Oh, I need help with my social media. I'm going to bring in an intern." Or like, "I'm going to bring in some kid. All the kids are good at social media right now. I'm going to bring in some kid." And a kid could definitely do better than nothing, right? Like there are people that are operating at a level where some
yeah,
college intern would absolutely do a better job than them, right? But like we're talking about the fact that like we see real lead generation from social media, right? Like people will come to us with very, very, very large scale jobs and they'll say, "I've been following you on social media for years. I love everything you do. And then I started getting served your ads and those were beautiful also. And I really want to do a project with you. I'm
right.
ready."
Yeah,
And that to me is not the work of an intern, right? It's the work of like very thoughtful strategy.
of course.
We're not just posting pretty pictures, we're analyzing performance, we're looking at the back end data, we're trying to understand like how A/B testing might help with our ads and what message actually gets across to people. So I think that it's all a matter of degree, right? It's like if you are starting from nothing, then yes, get an intern. If you're past the intern phase and you need more, get a professional. And like, is that an internal professional or an external professional? And if you are going to bring in a professional, there has to be an understanding of who on the inside is going to work with them, feed them information, make sure that there's some sort of, you know, editorial oversight. Like if the principals of a firm are thinking about each project that their team is working on and making sure that it lives up to their vision and their standards, then like there has to be that same sort of thought and consideration, I think, that goes into marketing.
Hmm. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you for taking some time to delve into this topic ever so slightly, literally on
Absolutely.
on the surface level, but at the same time, I think it's gonna help some people that are watching this. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for doing it on a Friday. And it's always a pleasure chatting with you. For those that don't know, Lisa was integral of being able to help facilitate an interview that I did not long ago with Andrew Klein, who's one of the principals at Workshop APD. And he was fantastic. If you haven't listened to it, there is a link in the bio above where you're going to be able to listen to past episodes. Lisa, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jonathan. It was a pleasure.